Hey everybody, it's Anu. Just wanted to share a couple of things with you guys. I have somebody that I'm really close to who's kind of been going through some things, and it's been interesting to be, a little bit on the outside looking in, but of course still knowing them really well, and to just really see the hand of the enemy at work. And I know that, using the term enemy, it's kind of out there for some people, and we picture Satan like with his pitchfork and such. But, the enemy has really been at work from the beginning in Genesis and is all at work all the way through the end to the book of Revelation. And thankfully, we know in the end he is defeated. But the fact is that the same enemy that was at work then is still at work now. And I really believe that's what I was seeing in this particular person's life. And it wasn't even anything that they were doing. It was really things that just kind of kept happening to them. And I realized that that was something I really saw in my own life too, just a particular pattern of the way that the enemy was coming at me. It started even back in the fourth grade, and then repeated itself just in college. And it was interesting when I shared those experiences with my husband. I remember he said, if I was the enemy and I knew what your calling and your destiny was, that's exactly what I would have done to stop you. And that's what I'm seeing for my friend as well. And maybe for you, that's the case too. You kind of wonder like why certain things keep happening. And maybe that's something that you can look back and you can see the pattern of the enemy at work in your own life too. And that's because there's likely great destiny and promise attached to those very things. In the book of Exodus, Moses is referring to what happened with Pharaoh and with Pharaoh being a literal enemy. And here's what he said about him. The enemy said, "I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil, and my desire shall be satisfied against them." And he goes on to say, "My hand shall dispossess them and drive them out." So that's the enemy back then in the Old Testament. Fast forward to the New Testament with Peter. And in Luke 22, it's a verse that we're all familiar with, where Jesus tells Peter that Satan has asked to sift him like wheat. And we hear that word sift, and the first thing is we think of the kitchen tool, like when you sift something. And that is the case. There's a shaking that happens there. But it's interesting, if you go back to the Greek, the definition also includes this: to try one's faith to the verge of overthrow. So again, those are the same words that we heard Pharaoh using about the children of Israel. It's the same tactic that the enemy had with Peter, and I believe it's the same tactic that he uses now with us. And so I just want to encourage you, if you feel like the enemy may be at work in your life, just rest assured that it's because there is a promise, there's a destiny, there is a plan that God has for you, and Satan is trying to stop that from happening. But here's some really encouraging words for you, because it's straight from Scripture. It's Exodus 15:13. And again, this is Moses saying this, talking about God. "You in your loving kindness and goodness have led the people whom you have redeemed. In your strength you have guided them with care to your holy habitation." The same God that gave you the promise, that has these plans and this purpose and this future for you, that has seen what the enemy has done to you, is the same God that is going to take you to where you are supposed to be. You can rest assured in that and trust that he will get you there. I hope that encourages you guys. God bless you.